Hello, welcome to my reading vlog. This week we are going to be reading Dark Academia. I'm really excited about these books. I've wanted to read these for so long, and I feel like these are perfect autumnal books, like perfect for this season. We are going to be reading The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is the one I'm going to start with. I'm nervous. I feel like this is a book that everyone loves, and you know, it's like the book everyone kind of shows off. And I'm hoping I really love it because I also have a special edition of this book, and I just hope I love it as much as everyone else. I love this cover and my special edition. This is the UK cover. It's so yummy. I'm also going to be reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm really excited to read this. Both of these are longer books, so I don't know how long this video will be, how long it's going to take me. Both of these are over 400 pages, so I need to read a lot each day. My card ran out of memory, so the angle might look different, but I think I was talking about Ninth House. This is the second one that I'm going to read. Very excited about this one, and I think I have the second book, I think, in like my closet with a bunch of other books. I hope I do. I'm so hoping that I love this. And then the third book is still to be determined. I'm thinking I'm going to read The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. What I really want to read is Bunny by Mona Awad. I want to read that book so bad, but I don't have a physical copy, and I have like 8 weeks to wait on Libby because everyone's reading it right now, it seems. I think it's because the new book came out. I don't know. Maybe everyone else just wants to read it during this time, but I was like, I have to wait so long to read that. So The Atlas 6 possibly might be my third book, but I was kind of hoping for the Mona Awad book as well because it's also shorter and not a part of a series. I don't know a ton about these. I think this has like a mystery aspect to it, and there are like people that play Shakespeare. That's all I know about this. I haven't watched any like in-depth reviews about either of these because I did not want these spoiled for me. I want to go in pretty blind. And this one is about a girl who gets accepted to Yale to like, I don't know, to help out with like, secret societies going on in Yale. Like I think there's magic and dark things happening, and it's kind of suspicious that she was like accepted to Yale, and like she just has to like help, I think, to be accepted to Yale, like with the things going on. That's all I know. I don't want to know a lot about the book before going into it. This has really good, oh, look at that, really good flop. This one I need to, I mean, it's not terrible, but I do need to break this one in. I'm gonna like bend the pages and like fold every few pages to really make it nice and floppy, because yeah, it's not great flop. Like it's gonna need to break the spine. But I'm so excited, and I know that both of these are like longer books, so I do need to read quite a bit each day. I'm hoping to read about 200 pages each day, and I'm gonna immersion read these. I do not want to listen to the audiobook for either of these. I want to immersion read, so I'm gonna try. I know my life is pretty busy right now, so we'll see if I can read the 200 pages and immersion read with both. The Atlas 6 I will listen to. I don't have the physical copy, and I think that might be easier with these two longer books to listen to the third one, but we'll see. That one might change. But we're gonna start with The Secret History because it's the one I'm the most intimidated by, and I just want to do it. Like it's kind of funny to be like intimidated by a book. Like I can read it. It's not just for like, I don't know. It's not just for people that like only read classics and have a degree in literature. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that with books, that like they're only for a certain type of person. And it's just not the case. I can read this book and it'll be fine. And I really hope I like it. But I'm going to make some coffee. I haven't had my coffee yet. I haven't eaten yet. It's 11:45. Oh, I thought it was later than that. No, we're fine. But I haven't had coffee, and I really want some. So I'm gonna make some and then start The Secret History. I'm 100 pages in, so let's do an update. Our protagonist, Richard, is from California, and he's gonna go to college in New England and at Hampton College, and he wants to study Greek. But the professor that teaches this class is very strange. He doesn't even get paid. He gives his paycheck to something, I don't remember, but he doesn't even care to get paid. And he only takes very few students, and it seems like these students have to be a certain status, because our protagonist is not rich. I think he had to get financial aid to go to this school, but these students that the professor takes, they're all rich. So he was not going to be able to take this class, but the professor lets him join because he kind of impresses him. And he tells him, you need to drop all of your other classes because you're going to take all of your classes except for French with me. And it seems a little bit odd that yes, all of his classes are going to be with this one professor. That already seems a little bit strange. There are 5 other students that he has in this class. It seems like they're all obsessed with school, Greek, learning about, they're always talking about the Greeks and the Romans, and they're always kind of talking about these things. Our protagonist does seem to put on a little bit of a show, trying to kind of fit in, kind of implying that he might have more money than he actually does, because he wants to fit in. There's another student there that's from California, and she told Richard, just be wary of this professor and these students. There's something off about them. And right now, at 100 pages, he's kind of talking to the reader I didn't see what was to come. These students and the professor only let him see a little bit of what was actually going on. And there's going to be a murder that's been talked about. He's referencing back to the murder. Up until now, we've just been getting to know our characters. He has lunch with one, and has conversations with others, or they'll go up to one of their lake houses. I think it's on the lake, and they all visit there, or they have dinners with the professor. And we're just starting to get a glimpse of I think what is to come. It seems maybe some strange things are gonna happen within this group of 5 and their professor, and that someone's going to get murdered, which I don't think is a spoiler, because I knew that without knowing anything about this book, that there's a murder that happens. I knew this was gonna be a slower book. I was not going into this thinking this was gonna be a thriller, so I'm okay with just getting to know the characters and stuff like that. And there's definitely that dark academia autumnal vibe. He describes the weather and the college, and how there are apples on the floor and the leaves are different colors. So I'm glad we're getting that fall atmosphere. I have a dark academia playlist on the TV, and I do plan to read 100 more pages today, but I'm interested. I want to know what's up with these students, and why this professor is seems to almost want his students to be only his, they're secluded kind of, and they're all pretty pretentious and it's fun. It's interesting. I am immersion reading this, and I am using Speechify to listen to this. So I'm taking pictures. How Speechify works, you take pictures of each page and then it turns it into audio. And you can also use Kindle or Libby, and if you have the digital book, you can input it into Spotify, and then it will generate it into audio. So I love using Speechify. I have a love-hate relationship with it, and this isn't sponsored or anything, but I just wanted to say how I'm reading this. So I'm immersion reading it, listening to the audio, and physically reading it, so that I really absorb the information. And I've been saving all of my Speechify word count, because unfortunately, even though Speechify is an expensive app, there is a limit on how many words you can turn into audio. And I know it's a lot, but I run out. I remember the first time running out of words, and it was a really big reading month last year, and I was so upset. So I wanted to make sure I did not run out of words, and I saved them for The Secret History and Ninth House. I know I'll have extra, but I just for like other books that I'm listening to, I'm just using the text to speech on my phone, like in Kindle, which is a very funny kind of voice, but I didn't want to waste my words on like a book that I don't super care about. I wanted to save it for these, and then when I have extra words left over, then I'll use them for other books. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to drink my coffee and maybe get 50 more, not words, 50 more pages in, and then maybe do some editing, like take a little break. I'm halfway and I'm enjoying myself so much. Something big is about to happen in like the next few pages, I think, and it's big. I haven't been able to read 200 pages a day. Just reading 200 physical pages a day it was too hard. I'm reading 150, so I plan to finish this by tomorrow because I'm at page 300 and there are 600 pages. I'm enjoying the progression of the story, the characters. I don't feel bored at all, and I was expecting, like I was prepared to be kind of bored, and I haven't been. I'm so curious to see like what is about to happen and what's gonna happen after that. And I don't want to say anything because it would be a spoiler, but I am enjoying it still, and I'm halfway, and I'm gonna read 150 pages today. And I might also start an audiobook that is not the Atlas 6, because I want to have an audiobook that I can put on while I'm like cleaning and stuff like that, but I don't want it to be the Atlas 6 just yet. So I might actually read 4 books in this vlog, we'll see. But I'm thinking about listening to The Maidens. It's also a dark academia book, but it's not one that I think it'd be an okay background kind of book. I want to be a little bit more present when I read the Atlas 6. So I'm gonna start a book. It might be The Maidens, we'll see, but it is dark academia, so it would still fit in with the theme. We'll see. But I do want to start an audiobook because I like to listen to a book while I go on my walk or while I'm cleaning the house, so The Maidens might be good. So I'm gonna make some coffee, and I'm reading these 150 pages in like 50 page increments. So I'm gonna read 50 pages and then I'll probably like eat lunch, and then I just kind of spread out the 150. So let's keep reading. I finished The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This was a really good book. It took me by surprise. I fully expected to be bored. This is a really long book. I thought it was gonna be incredibly slow, but like still a good story. This kept me at the edge of my seat. The end was so good. Like, I thought the ending was perfect. We don't like our characters very much, so there's this like frustration with these awful people. Or at least I didn't like them. I thought they were pretty awful. You like sympathize with them, but you also dislike them because they're not good people. I don't want to talk about what happens in the book because I didn't know like anything going into this book, and I liked that. I liked being surprised by the book, and I thought it was so good. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. I also just love the book itself. Like, I broke the spine really well, so it like became really nice and floppy, and it just feels so nice, and I just felt super immersed into this story and thoroughly enjoyed reading this. And I read a lot each day, and it was like, I mean, it was kind of difficult because it was a lot of pages to read, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I have to read all these pages. I wanted to know what happened. So I'm really happy with this book that I finally read it. I know that like everyone's already read this book, and I wanted to know what the hype was about, so really good book. I understand why everyone likes it. I also started the audiobook for The Maidens. This is a dark academia book by the same author who wrote The Silent Patient, I believe, which I have not read. And I know that there are kind of mixed reviews about this book, but I'm enjoying listening to it. In this book, we're following Marianne, who is a group psychologist, and she recently, like in the past year, lost her husband. So there's a lot of talk about grief and loss in this book. And she went to Cambridge, I believe that's the school. I'm pretty sure it's Cambridge. Her niece is at Cambridge, and her best friend was murdered there. She was stabbed to death. So the aunt, Marianne, is going to Cambridge to, be with her niece, and she's asked by someone there, a co-worker or the dean, I don't remember the position, but a friend of hers, to kind of stay and see if she can kind of help uncover what happened. And Marianne is like, this isn't my field of expertise, like criminals and like profiling, stuff like that. But she decides to stay, and because her niece also really wants her to stay and help her figure out who the killer is. And she has suspicions on a professor that she thinks is the killer. He has these girls, like this group of girls that are his best students. He calls them something, but like very bright students, and they call themselves the maidens, and they're his like group. And Marianne's kind of like doing an investigation, talking to people, and she talks to him, and he says like there's no funny business with these maidens, with these girls, but they do meet quite often, and they'll have drinks, and they'll talk about like academics and stuff like that. Like, he thinks that they're his brightest students, and he likes to talk to them. But the one that was stabbed to death was one of these maidens, so that's where the suspicion lies. I don't think this is a book that I'm going to rate 5 stars. I don't know that it's a book that I would like necessarily care to like own. Some books you listen to and you're like, that was a good book, I don't feel like I need to own that. And I've listened to some books where I'm like, I have to own that book. This is a book I'm really glad I physically read it and have the physical copy. And I feel that way about a lot of my books. I decided that I'm not going to read the Atlas 6. I'm going to swap it for the Maidens, which I'm already halfway through, so that's going to be my 3rd book. I didn't want to start the Atlas 6 and get into another series. So I have series that I want to finish, and I felt if I start the Atlas 6, I'm in another one. I like that the Maidens is a single book, a standalone, because I'm about to get into another series. This is my final book, and I'm going to start this tomorrow. I'm very excited. This is also a longer read. This is 450 pages, and the margins are smaller than they are in The Secret History. The Secret History is 600 pages, but the margins felt pretty large in this book. I don't know, it didn't like feel like a 600-page book. Maybe just because the story was so good. But I'm looking forward to starting this one tomorrow. I'm really hoping I like it. I do not own the second book. I remember now, I had it in my possession at Barnes & Noble, like in my stack, when I went to Dallas to visit my sister, and I took it out of the stack because I thought, let me read the first one and see if I even like it before I just buy the second one. So I do not own the second one, so if I love this one, I'm gonna have to buy the second one. But yeah, that's my reading update. I'm gonna start this one tomorrow and maybe finish The Maidens by tomorrow. It's a very quick read. It's like 8 hours long, and I listened to it on 2 times speed, so it's a pretty quick book. And I'm going to immersion read this one. But I'll see you tomorrow. I am about halfway through Ninth House. In this book, we're following Alex. She has a special gift to see greys, which are ghosts. And this, I guess I'll call it society, I think, at Yale knows that she has this gift, and they've kind of watched her grow up until they were ready to like give her a job at Yale to help keep the magic societies that are conducting magical things at Yale in line, and to also help protect those societies while they're doing their magic things from the Greys, because not very many people can see them. Like, she can see them, and then her mentor, who she's going to like replace. We're going back and forth in time from like the present, where her mentor has gone missing. He is somewhere and she's trying to bring him back, and we don't really know how that happened yet. And then the past, where she was like given the position and she's kind of like in training, sort of. And she also talks about like further back when she was a little girl, when she could start to see these Greys, because she's seen them for as long as she can remember, and ghosts aren't always good, and they would do bad things and scare her and stuff. And like her ability to see the ghosts is stronger than other people's ability. Like, she can even see them in color. So at Yale, she has to learn how to keep ghosts away, because they're kind of a nuisance to the magic societies and to her. So she has to learn these specific things to keep them like under control. And I think all of that is very interesting, and I like the time jumping. I think the ghosts are like, what can happen with her and the ghosts is really interesting. I just really want to understand her job at Yale, and maybe that's coming, but I still don't really understand the societies, the magical houses that are in Yale, and then her job. And this is book 1, so maybe, you know, I won't really know everything until book 2 or something. Like, since it's not a standalone, maybe I shouldn't know these things just yet, but I want to. I really want to understand what's going on specifically at Yale. We know some things, like there's one of the, I feel like I still can't explain it because I still don't really understand it. One of the houses, I think that's what they're called. They're like shapeshifters, and they can shapeshift to animals, and they can be like spies in animal form. So a lot of those shapeshifters become like CIA, and they like can spy and stuff. But there are different ones, and we just don't really understand what they do yet. And then I still just don't fully understand her job. Like, I understand her with the ghosts, with the Greys, but there's other aspects to her job that I just don't get yet. And like I said, that could totally be coming later on. I'm only halfway, but it's like starting to bother me because I just want to understand. I want like a conversation where her mentor sits down with her and tells her everything so that I get it. But it is interesting learning about her and the ghosts. And I've enjoyed learning what little I have about the different magic that's going on there. But I'm on page 201, and okay, there's 450 pages, so I'm a little less than halfway, but really close. So what I've been trying to do is reading 100 pages a day, not 200. So I should finish this in 2 days. Like, I'm gonna read a little bit over 100 pages, but that's my plan for this. And then for the Maidens, I could see this being a highly ranked book. If I get a little bit more of what I want, a little bit more understanding of what's going on, I think this could be highly rated, because I think the concept's super cool. For the Maidens that I'm listening to, I don't remember how far along I am. Let me see. I'm 68% of the way through. I have like an hour and a half left, I think. I think this is gonna be a story that I just kind of forget. Like, I feel like I forgot I was listening to this book. Right now, Marianne, I think that's the main character we're following, is still trying to figure out who the killer is, and she's found some clues that are leading to her main suspect, but it would be too obvious for it to be him. And so she's still trying to put the pieces together, but like, I was thinking, oh, I need to read today, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm reading the Maidens, I need to finish that book. I don't see this being a high star rating. I'm invested, so I do want to know who the killer is. I think I know, but right now I'm just kind of feeling like it's okay. But let's do some more reading of Ninth House. This is going to be my focus today, not this. And maybe make some coffee in a little bit. I want to make some pumpkin syrup. I finally got my pumpkin spice latte, not latte, pumpkin cream cold brew yesterday. I wish it were stronger. You know, every barista is different, and I kind of wish that it had a little more coffee. It felt like very little coffee in a lot of the foam, so it wasn't very strong. I've had it strong like one time. One barista made it perfect where it didn't just taste like a lot of sugar, like you could taste the coffee, and I've been trying to get that ever since. But I still enjoyed it, like even though it was very, very sweet, I enjoyed just the pumpkin, like the nostalgic taste of the cream cold brew. But I'm gonna make my own syrup so that I can have a very pumpkin-y drink at home, because I know that these drinks are not gonna be in Starbucks for much longer. I don't know when they switch to like peppermint, but I'm thinking it's probably gonna be soon, in the next few weeks. So let's read and see if I can get just more info, which probably just sounds stupid. It's gonna come, like it's gonna happen. I just want it already. Okay, something just happened in the book that I thought was really cool. I was like, oh, the writing is so like creative in this book. Like I felt like I was there and I could see what was happening, and it's just, I feel like there are parts of this book that I've read and been like, wow, that is so cool, and I really like this concept. And then I think it was like when I put it down yesterday and kind of felt like frustrated, and that might sound like kind of dramatic, but I was just like, I just want to know more. And I feel like that's probably a good thing to be like frustrated about. It's not that I'm bored or like hate our characters or anything. I just felt that I wanted more. So I think that's still a good thing for this book. Yeah, what happened right now was pretty cool, I think. And I'm starting to dog ear pages. You can see that. I don't always have like a tab or a pen with me to mark things, but I am starting to dog ear them so that I can reference back to them, because when we get like a little clue of what a society does or what her job is, I tab it so that I can refer back to it. But I'm on page 216, so let's keep reading. I'm here for my final update, and I know I wear this shirt a lot. I have like 3 or 4 of these shirts. My wardrobe is kind of limited postpartum, so I wear these shirts a lot. I finished Ninth House like 5 minutes ago, and I finished The Maidens this morning, so I have my final thoughts on these books. So I finished The Maidens this morning by Alex Michaelides. I think that's how you say that name. I did not like it. I was very disappointed by this book. I thought the beginning had potential. I liked the discussion about grief. Like, I felt things for our character at the beginning of the book. About halfway, I was bored and kind of just even forgot that I was reading this book, and I hated the end. The end ruined the whole book for me. I thought it was terrible, and it was like a surprise. It wasn't what I thought, but I didn't like it. I thought it was really bad. It just ruined the book, and it had that dark academia aspect to it and kind of this mystery, but I wasn't like super curious about the mystery aspect of it. It's not a book that I was like, oh, I want to know what happens. I was just like, okay, like let's finish this book. And then the end, like I think I already said, was like unexpected, but in the worst way. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it like a 1.5 star rating. Like that's how much I hated the ending. So did not enjoy that book. Ninth House, however, is a different story. I was really into this book. I will say, at one of my updates, I said I was kind of like frustrated with the book because I wanted to just understand it more. I felt like a little lost. And I think because of that, I wasn't dying to pick it up. But literally right after that update, something happened that I was like, oh, that's really cool and very interesting, and I want to see more of that will happen. And you're gonna see right here. I have so many dog-eared pages, and I started to underline, like you can kind of see where I started to get really interested in the book right here. I feel like it was just a really well written book with unique magic in it, like unique concepts that I haven't read before. This is definitely perfect for this season with its spooky vibes, because like one of the main things in this book are ghosts, and our character can see ghosts, and there are other things that are going to happen with the ghosts, so it has that very like spooky vibe. And I know that there's still so much more that we need to know, a lot more to learn, but this is just the first book. Like I had to keep reminding myself of that, like I'm gonna get more information, but maybe not in this book. In all three of these books there is a murder. I'm wondering if that's like a theme in Dark Academia books, because there's a murder in this one, a murder in this one, and our main character is trying to solve this murder. And that's the main theme of this book. And then in the Maidens, there's also a murder, a few murders actually. In Ninth House, a girl is murdered, and our protagonist, Alex, is trying to figure out who murdered her and why, because there are these magic societies at Yale, and she thinks that they have something to do with this murder. It's her job to keep these societies in line and to like monitor what they're doing, and to also keep the Greys, which are the ghosts, from like interfering with the magic, and to kind of keep them away when like a magic ceremony or something is happening. And I'm sure that there's more to her job that I kind of just missed. Like I still want to know more about her job. So she's trying to figure out who murdered this girl, and someone has also gone missing who she is trying to find, her mentor, and she's figuring out things about herself. And it was really interesting. I was really intrigued by this book. I will be getting the second one. I don't know when I'm going to get it and start reading it, but I want to like soon, like maybe before the end of the year. But just I had such a good time with this book. I broke the spine because I was like, this is such a big book. I wanted it to like, look at that. I wanted it to lay flat. It just felt so nice. But I'm gonna give Ninth House 5 stars because I thought it was just brilliant. And then I know I already talked about The Secret History. I won't say like too much about it, but I also really enjoyed this one. This one felt a little bit more fall, had the more fall atmosphere than Ninth House. I feel like this one gave me like we are in a prestigious school with all these pretentious people and like the leaves are changing. Like that was more this book, very fall appropriate. So is Ninth House, but I think this one maybe even more like visually, you know what I mean? I thought it was really good. The ending was very like, I wasn't expecting it, and I thought it kind of was like, wow, like I thought it was good. I had a really good time with this book, and this is a long book. It didn't feel like a 600-page book, which I love when a book feels like that, because sometimes a 200-page book feels like a 600-page book. Both of these kept me so engaged and were just perfect for this season, and I loved them both. And I love that they're black and like gray or silver. I'm excited to finally be able to display these books and that I finally got to them, because I've had Ninth House for a while and I was waiting for this season to finally read it. 2 5 stars and a 1.5 star. But I had a lot of fun reading. I think this was a heavy reading vlog, so the next ones, they're gonna be a little bit shorter books because I felt I'm a tiny bit burnt out. I read 150 pages each day with this book, and then 100 pages, sometimes more with this book, so I want to read a little bit less each day for the next vlog. I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know what books you're reading right now, or if you've read either of these and loved or hated them. I would be curious to know. And if you don't know what else to comment, you can comment the ghost. We might have already done this one in another video, but I want the ghost for Ninth House. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.